I want to say congratulations to you, and I want to say congratulations to all of us. We're in a particular moment. Many of you here have been on the front lines for a long time. You've been fighting for economic justice, for opportunity, for a different kind of business leadership, for a different relationship between people and our planet. And for a very long time, you were by yourselves. For a very long time, it was all uphill. For a very long time, you, even in your own coalition, some of you, even in your own organizations, were at the margin, saying there's a better way for us to run this economy. We can fight poverty and pollution at the same time. We can lift up people, create opportunities for people without destroying the environment. That there are business models that will let us do that, and there's a way to rebuild the labor movement so it can be a strong force moving us forward economically and politically. And for a very long time, you were by yourselves, and you were frustrated. And you get in your car, you get in the bus, you get on the train going home after meetings, and you just couldn't understand how you were having such a difficult time getting through to something that seemed so basic to you. Well, I want to say to you, congratulations. This movement and this moment that's created here is a step along the journey. We are moving now from the margin to the center. Well, what I want to say to you now is that as this movement begins to move from the margin to the center of our politics, from the margin to the center of our culture, from the margin to the center of our economy, you are now faced, we are now faced, this movement is now faced with a moral challenge. We're faced with a moral challenge, and that challenge is this. As we move from the margin to the center, who are we going to take with us, and who are we going to leave behind? As we move from the margin to the center, who will we take with us, and who will we leave behind? I want to suggest to you that this movement that's talking about changing the economy, that's talking about building a green economy, has a rare opportunity to stand in front of the country and say, you know what? We want to build a green economy, but in the green economy we want to build, our green economy is not just about reclaiming thrown away stuff. It's about reclaiming thrown away children and thrown away lives. That's the green economy we want to build. We have an opportunity to say to this country that we insist that those communities that were locked out of the last century's pollution-based economy be locked in to the new clean and green economy. If we're going to build a green economy, let's start with these neighborhoods. We can say that we insist that the communities that were pushed down by the pollution-based economy, the communities that suffered the asthma, that suffered the cancer, that suffered the respiratory ailments, the learning disabilities, all the negative impacts of the pollution-based economy, those communities that were pushed down by the pollution-based economy must be lifted up by the new clean and green economy. We have that opportunity and that obligation as a movement. You have the opportunity to do something that has not been done in this country since maybe the New Deal. You have the opportunity to create a green wave that can lift all boats. You have that opportunity. If you decide that the movement that we're building has to be consistent with the principles that got us involved with politics and social change in the first place, we can change this country and change the lives for these children. We can change the lives for these children. You and I have the opportunity to build a green economy that from the beginning has a place in it for everybody. Think about that. Many of us here were motivated and inspired to get involved with politics because of the civil rights movement and the justice struggles of the 60s. They faced lynch mobs, dogs, hoses. What keeps us from building a green economy with a place in it for everybody? They faced death to create a place at the table for everybody in the last century's pollution-based economy. There is nothing standing between us and a green economy strong enough to lift millions of people out of poverty, but our own cynicism, lack of trust in each other, fear of success, used to being small. Sometimes I think we get used to being the little marginal voices. Sometimes that becomes a comfort zone. Used to being right, but in the minority. We have an obligation now to be right and in the majority. We can stand together and say, business, labor, community, environmentalists. We can say, we want to create a massive training program and set of opportunities for people to become the workforce of the future, to help business meet its opportunities and meet its obligations and fulfill its opportunities. We have that opportunity to do that. But with the right policies, we can begin to train these young people and give them the tools and the training and the technology to become the heroes, not just in our community, but global heroes of the environment. We need to add a couple icons. I think we can add the icon of that young man and that young woman who never had a job before, getting up in the morning with a hard hat and a lunch bucket and a tool belt, going out the door, getting a chance to save the world today, get a chance to join a union. See, a union, see, that's a union job. That's a green pathway out of poverty, a union job, to be able to become a part of a labor union. See, if you teach a young person how to put up solar panels, they can join the IBEW. See, they might even be on their way to becoming an electrical engineer. That's a green pathway out of poverty. If you teach a young person how to weatherize a building, how to double pane that glass so the building doesn't leak energy, they're on their way to becoming a glazer. They could join a union. That's a green pathway out of poverty. See, and the good thing about it is these jobs can't be sent overseas. You can't take this building, put it on a boat, send it to Asia, let them weatherize it, send it back. That's not how it works. Now, this is not, God bless India and China. We want their economies to do well. We want them to bring us, we want their economies to do well. We want them to lift millions of people out of poverty and into a green economy. And we want to do the same thing here in this country. This is not going to be a problem that we solve, people, based on marginal technology fixes, cute new gizmos, a couple new gadgets, and 3% increase in the number of people with jobs. Our grandchildren, our children won't be here. We shouldn't lie to ourselves. We have an economy that is based on hurting poor people and hurting the planet. Hurting poor people and hurting the planet. What we're talking about is creating an economy that helps poor people and helps the planet. That is a tremendous change. That is a dramatic change. That is a 180-degree change. That is a revolutionary change that we're talking about. And in order to get that kind of change out of the system, we need a movement. We need a movement. We need a coalition that is strong enough to govern this country for decades, like the New Deal coalition did. That is what we're called to build, a green growth alliance. And if we say to this country that we're going to build a movement that's not going to leave anybody out. We saw your sink and swim policies with Katrina, where we had a free market evacuation plan. You remember that? You had a credit card and a functioning car, you could get out. Otherwise, you're left to sink or swim. We reject the politics of sink or swim in an age of floods, in an age of peril, in an age of dangers that are mounting. We reject the politics of sink or swim, and we say we are all in this together. We are all in this together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.